Hello, lovely scholars, and welcome to your very last fraction lessons video. Thank you so much for staying on top of these and making sure that you're doing your absolute best to get to know this unit. I'm going to jump right into it. So we're going to be learning about what fractions make a whole today, and then we're also going to be looking at fractions on a number line. So let's get right to it. The very first example I'm going to show you is you're going to see here that there is a circle. It is split into fourths, okay? And the question is saying 1/4 and what fraction make one whole. So you could see here that there is 1/4 that is already out or highlighted. I guess you could say that's that 1/4. And then how many more to make up this whole circle? So if you take that one out, how many more do you see that would make up the circle? You see 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. So 1/4 and 3/4 make up one whole, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and write in 3/4. And when I have 3/4, 1/4 and 3/4 make one whole. Don't worry if this is a little bit confusing to you or like if the picture really helps you, that's okay because the pictures are going to be in your workbook to help you get that visual of what other fraction is going to make one whole. Let's do one other example. So for this example, you can see that this bar is split into sixths. So here they have a fraction for you. They want to know how many more sixths make one whole, okay? So you see 1, 2, 3, 4 sixths here. They want to know how many more sixths make the whole entire bar. So you can see here that this part is highlighted for you and the answer would be 2 sixths make one whole. So I'm going to fill in that blank. This lesson is exactly how you're going to see your practice today. I tried to make sure that that is mirrored so that it makes sense. So when I filled it in, you could see that they gave us 4 sixths here and then 2 sixths is left over to make one whole, all right? We're going to move on to thinking about fractions on a number line. So here's an easy example of how I'm going to teach you, and then we're going to go through a few examples together, okay? So here you're going to see here that this bar is split into halves, right here down the middle, and you can see that 1/2 here, and there's the other half, okay? 2 halves make one whole. So beneath it, you can see there that the number line is matched up directly with the bar. So here you start with 0 and here you have 1. And the reason why this is 1 over here is because this bar here represents one whole, okay? So here, right down the middle, right there, that is split into half. So from 0 to 1/2, there's that 1/2, it is mirrored. And then from 1/2 to one whole, you have that mirrored again. So 2 halves is equal to one whole, all right? Hopefully that was an easy example. We're gonna go ahead and do another one where it's not as filled out. So as I'm going through these next few examples, I really want you to be interactive with me. I'm going to pause, see if you can answer that question correctly as I pause and ask the question, all right? So for example, you can see here that there is a fraction bar and then a number line labeled 0 to 1. Okay, my first question is, how many parts do you see in that fraction bar? You see 3, right? So this bar is split into thirds. I'm going to go ahead and label that as 1/3 for each of those pieces. I'm going to show that to you here. So you could see this is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror that onto our number line. So again, you can see here that this number line matches this picture. So we have 0 here, this is nothing, no bar at all. And then here, if we stop here on this very first line, you would have 1/3, okay? So I'm gonna label that 1/3. And from 0 to 1/3, that would be a jump of 1/3. It matches here. So from here to here is 1/3. After 1/3, I'm gonna jump to this next one. And what do you guess? What do you think this next mark would be? So for a 0, 1/3, you would have, you can count them here, you see 2/3, right? So I'm gonna label that 2/3. So it looks like this, okay? And then last but not least, we can leave this as 1 because again, from this side of the bar to this side, this is one whole, imagine it's a candy bar. It's one whole candy bar, okay? So you could leave that 1, but if you really wanna take that extra step, you can label this 1 as, again, you can see here, 0, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So this 1 is the same thing. I'm gonna put or 3/3. I'll show you what I have written down. So you can see here that I've labeled it. It could be, you could think of this as 1, or you can think of it as 3/3, the whole thing. Imagine that whole candy bar shaded in, all right? So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully if you're still kind of confused, I'm gonna do another example, so follow along with me. If this was difficult, rewind it, watch it again, okay? So last example, so we have a candy bar again, and then a number line underneath labeled 0 to 1. So here is the bar. How many parts, how many equal parts do you see this bar shaded in or split up into? You see 4 equal parts, right? So we call that fourths. I'm gonna go ahead and label that in. So each one of those parts is 1/4. Okay, there they are. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go down here, and again, this number line is exactly lined up just like the candy bar. So if we are at 0, this first tick mark is going to be, you could see here, there's chunks here, 1/4. The next one would be 2/4. The next one would be 3/4. And this would be 4/4, or that's why we have the 1 there, 1 whole, okay? So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 1 whole, or 4/4. Let me show that to you here. So in your work today, you will be doing this here and matching them up with the picture and labeling what part of the number line do you see. So without this bar, if I were to take away the bar here, the way I would figure this out, so let's, for example, just say you had the number line. The way I would figure this out is I would need to count how many parts there are. So it's the same thing as what I just asked you. How many equal parts are there on that bar? So you could figure out what the denominator is. 1, 2, 3, 4. The same thing goes for your number line. So I count the parts, the sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know this number line is split into fourths. So 0, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1 whole, or 4/4, okay? All right, I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that that's making sense. We're going to have one more challenge example, and hopefully it makes sense to you, all right? So this is our last one. So you see that this number line is already split up for you. It's split into 8ths. Some parts are missing. So I want you to think, what could those missing parts be? Okay, we have 0 here, 1/8, it skips and goes to 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, skips and goes to 7/8, and then here's 1 whole, or it would be 8/8. So hopefully you figured out that you see this pattern here, 0, 1, blank, 2. It would be 2/8, right? 3, 4, 5, 6/8, 7/8, and then 1 whole. All right, so We have 2/8 and 6/8. There they are. And I don't believe they're going to be that tricky with you in your workbook today, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how you might see it when you get to 3rd grade. So I hope that you are having a great day. And if you have any questions or you get super stuck, don't be shy to send me a message and I'd be happy to help you out. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye.